Boom! All right, Kenman here, and today we have another one from the Midguards family. Another from the Mr. Eddie collection. That's right, we have another sponsored video from the man himself, Mr. Eddie. He is a knife collector and knife maker. Actually, this is one of the knives he made right here. If you are interested, you can check out his stuff on his page. He has some cool stuff for sale and an amazing collection of knives. So we are sponsored by the Mr. Eddie collection today. Before we start, usually not sponsored by anyone, usually purchase everything at retail price. I do these videos because I love discussing knives and sharing info and ideas with others. If you have any questions or thoughts, please feel free to comment below. All right, the second from the Midguards family and the Mr. Eddie collection that we are checking out and reviewing. It's very cool that he sent me several knives to kind of check them out, see what they're about. Knives that I wouldn't necessarily have been able to afford, more expensive, really cool looking things. And I get to share them all with you. Let's get into it right now. We have a Midguards Messer. There it is. I like that patch on there. And let's get to the knife bag on the floor. And there it is. The Midguards Messer Bombur. Could be Bombur. B-O-M-B-U-R. There's a little umlaut kind of line in there. The Bombur by Midguards. Oh, look at this thing. You know, all right, we'll talk about it. Generally, most of the times I do unboxings, it's just kind of a quick first impressions and review of my initial thoughts because I haven't had a chance to really do much with it. I've had Mr. Eddie's knives for a while now, a long while. Thank you, Mr. Eddie. So long that I've kind of made jokes about it, but it takes a while to get all the videos filmed and everything, and I've just been busy, and here we are. Long story short, I've had a chance to kind of carry this a little bit and kind of see what it's like to have it in my pocket and open it. Maybe cut a couple of little boxes and stuff. Barely really used it, but I mostly was able to kind of just enjoy having it in my pocket and how it feels and kind of open it and messing around with it at work when you're sitting there waiting or when I'm at lunch or, wherever. I'm opening knives all the time, you know what I mean? Hopefully you are enjoying doing the same. We're all knife nuts here, right? Okay, so what are we looking at, Kenman? Well, this Midguards Messer Bombur has a CPM D2, a blade, a very thick one at that. We've got this nice anodized titanium handle with the frame lock. I tell you, sometimes my brain just shuts off. What I can say about this knife though is I wasn't initially really attracted to the look of it and the design. It just didn't really strike me. Just all the way that it is with the hole in there and the big lanyard and just the shape and everything. It's cool. Don't get me wrong, but it just didn't draw me in like some other designs do. The other Midguards we'll look at in a second, complete opposite. It made me go like, wow, But this one, when I grab it like this in my hand, like I'm using it, and you just shut your eyes and just feel what it feels like, it is so home. It feels so nice. The way this handle is designed, when you make these little cutouts like this, it specifically will fit certain hands better than others because you got those little grooves where your fingers sit, and someone might have skinnier fingers or thicker fingers, and they don't all fit the same. It's not going to feel the same for everyone. But for me, those just drop in. There, my third one sits here, and then the pinky's up on that last spot, and it just feels great. The jimps ride way high. I like a ton of jimps, as you know. and the jimps go on for days. I can really reach my thumb out. I have bigger hands, and look at that. I'm reaching all the way out, and I just barely make it to the end of those jimps. So they are Kenman approved in the jimpage category. I just love the way this knife feels when you're holding it to use it, index finger out like this. It's great. It's really nice. So my initial thoughts on the way it looked changed. Oh my goodness. A couple little fails there. It is a little bit tougher to flick out, but it does have that fuller that goes all the way down. You can't really flick it out through the hole well, yeah, you can. It's a little bit harder, the angle that it's at, but you can do it. So it's not totally impossible. It is a larger knife though, and I found getting down in the groove down in this area here, well, of course I fail there, seems to be my method that I kind of prefer. Get it down like that. It just feels comfortable enough as you get your middle finger in there, can flick it out. I mean, you can easily, well, maybe not easily, try to roll that. Okay, so try to roll it out with my thumb in that hole there. That doesn't work, but if I put it down here, I can easily do a roll out like that. But this knife is just thick. The way Midguards does it, beefy hog. Solid blade right there, no movement at all, really nice. Blade is centered how it should be. Folks, enjoy these crazy unboxings. Hit the like button. Subscribe if you'd like to see more. Monstrosity of a lanyard hole right there. You could fish through that thing. And then we've got this one right here where it's like the solid back. Look at how thick and solid that is. But boom, there's this hole right here that they've decided to add. What's that look like when the blade's closed? Wow, and the blade, oh, because that's solid all the way through. You can't see through that. So even when you look down in there, that cut is up there. I mean, it's removing some weight, but wow, that is neat. Nothing's getting caught in there. That's basically a solid slot all the way through there. There's no place for like dirt and grime to kind of drop down in there. Very interesting. It also is kind of that non-symmetrical because it's got that big frame lock on there, the titanium frame lock that everybody likes. It works really good. I miss that flick out once in a while. But so yeah, the one side's got these nice deep scallops milled right into that titanium, and then the other side is fairly plain. Got the little cutout right there for the spring action of the lock. Looks like there's no over travel, or is there an over travel liner in there that you can maybe, that brings it out? Otherwise, it doesn't look like there's anything to stop it from accidentally pushing that out too far. The detent, boom. Got a nice solid. It gets close to the end, and see there, it pulled away from me. Boom. Oof. It's got a nice beefy strength to it. And like I said, it rolls out nice. I've flicked it out several times, even with that, through that freaking hole. Give it a little help, and out she goes. What Midguards Messers does everyone out there have? Do you like them? 164 out of 200. Limited, huh? I like their logos, pretty cool. They keep it fairly basic. You got that Midguards Messer logo on both sides of the blade, and then your 164 out of 200. And there is nothing anywhere else. Blade steel isn't marked anywhere. I tried to see if there was. Sometimes they'll have it like written in there on the edge or something. I don't see it anywhere. This is pretty clean, but it's a beautiful looking knife. Can I thumb it out? It's a strange looker though. I tell you, everybody's got different taste. Like I said, it wasn't initially my desired style visually, but man, in hand, it feels just great. All right, what do we got? 8 3/8 end to end, and about 3.5 to the center of the scales, the handle right there. And then wow, You're looking at a 4-inch cutting surface with this big curved belly right there for just doing some serious slicing action. 4 3/4, just a little bit longer than 4 3/4 on the handle. And she's thick. This one is got some beef. This is kind of close to about a normal full-size knife. And most full-size knives are between, 11 and 13, 14 in that blade thickness. And this one, 19. That is thick. If we kind of go out to this last little spot right here, still 19. And then, yeah, so that thickness really carries all the way out to here. That it basically holds on, and then they got this swedge right here that kind of makes it look a little bit thinner, or this secondary cut right there. You can kind of see it at that angle. But it is still thick right up to the tip there. Give it some of that extra strength, that long, fuller. It goes all the way out though, right? Okay, so yeah, 19, 20 at that thickest spot. Handle's usually about a half, so 0.62. Sorry, I was off camera there. 0.6263 on that handle, and if you go with the clip, 0.78. So it is pretty thick. I'm just going to go right into that. Other one was 23 on the thickness. We'll get that out in a second here. That was that other Midguards. And what was this one more time? 19. Yeah, 19, 20, 23 on the other one, man. They make some beefy chunkers. All right, weight is large, 7.39. Got quite a bit of mass to it. I compare everything with CJRB Pyrite. It's a good, not quite full-size knife, 3.67. 7.3, and the Beowulf is 12.5. Look at that beast. So 7.3, grab a full size Titius, 4.3. So it's pretty beefy for that size that it is, because really the Titius is a large knife. We'll do a little comparison here. All right. Okay, let's boom. So the Bombur next to the Pyrite. Like I said, the Pyrite isn't quite a full-size knife, so if you line them up there, you got about a ½ inch on the front and the back at least, and it's a little bit larger, thicker, obviously, wider, taller. But realistically, it's not a super large. It's a beefy knife, but you look at it next to this Pyrite, it's really not that terribly ginormous. Here is that Kubi Titius I got in the Ultim. Very cool, awesome. Larger knife. If you like a bigger knife and want to save on a little bit of a budget, can't quite afford that Midguards price, you get a Titius for $40 to $80, depending on which model you get. Really cool though. It's got a nice drop, flicks out really good. Does have that fuller that goes out, so in a way it has a very similar kind of a feel, if you will. Definitely beefier, thicker this way, and when you go to look at it like this, that blade is about twice as thick as the Titius, so that's where that beefiness really comes into play, that thickness right there, right? Titius is a great knife, though. Check one out. And the Beowulf. Gotta zoom out for this big pig. So this was the other one from the Mr. Eddie collection. It is absolutely enormous. So you put this next to it. Full length isn't much bigger, but that beefiness this way. And like I said, this one just drew me in. The shape and the design, the style of that, the way your finger gets stuck up in there, that thickness on there. Right? Like I said, check out Mr. Eddie's Instagram and YouTube channel. I've got it linked down in the description. He's got a lot of cool stuff, some actual knives that he makes himself as well. But some of these overbuilt things, he's got some cool Instagram shots of. check it out. The video for this one up there. Awesome stuff. I'd like to get myself a Midguards now that I've had a chance to kind of hold them and check them out. The overbuilt beefiness is definitely my style. This Bombur is cool, feels nice. Pick one up if you can afford it, for sure. Stay sharp. We'll see you soon.